You know, sometimes in life, it's really funny what people get excited about. Some people get excited about the Super Bowl. Some people get excited about the latest restaurant opening up in their neighborhood. You know what I get excited about? That's right, firmware updates. That's right, folks. Today is Sony A7R Mark III and Sony A7 Mark III firmware update day 3.0. It's the one we've all been waiting for. I'm really excited to show you about it right now. So without any further ado, I'm going to switch over to the computer and start this firmware update. Now, the first step in the Sony's firmware update process is you're going to have to locate the Sony support webpage. You're going to go to cameras and camcorders. In this case, we're going to go to digital cameras. We're going to go to interchangeable lens cameras. We're going to go to the E-mount body, and then I'm going to pick the A7 series, and then, where am I looking? Just kidding. We're going to go down to the A7R Mark III. In my case, if you have the A7 Mark III, you're going to go here. I'm going to go click on that. I'm going to go to the A7R System Software Firmware Update for Mac and click the download button. It's going to kind of walk me through the firmware update and things I need to know. It also describes the biggest features inside this update and what's we're really looking forward to. But without any further ado, I'm going to go to the very bottom here and click download right here at the very top. Now, once you have downloaded the entire file, it's a little bit big of a file. I'm going to double click the image to actually open it up, and then it's going to ask to open up the installer. So we're going to double click the update settings tool, click open. I'm going to type in my password for the machine. What's this? Update settings tool wants me to update my system settings app. All right, we're gonna hit OK. System extensions block open security preferences. I'm gonna have to do that. And then all you're gonna click here on a Mac is just hit allow. And one more time, hit OK. And then it's gonna ask me to connect the device to the computer with a USB cable. I'm gonna do that at this time. Now, what I had to do was actually open up this second resources folder in mine, go to System Software Update, and then this folder actually launched. It says, hey, you're going to check there. There's no problem. Hit the next button. Keep going. On my camera right now, it says follow computer instructions, and it's just going to reset the camera automatically while I'm here. So I just saw the actual camera get unmounted from my desktop over here, and it should be updating. Wow, I was way behind. Current version 1.10. Man. It's an old update. This might take a couple of minutes while this actually does it, and it says, hey, make sure don't unpull the USB cable from the camera. All right, just a quick update here. We are on about minute 10 of this update, and we're about halfway through. I'm currently using a USB-C cable connected to the camera. I would think this would be the fastest way to do it, but I mean, we'll see. All right, folks, and we are done. That last half of the update went really quickly. I'm gonna hit the finish button here, and we should be all set. And we're back, version 3.0. Here it is. Do I look so much better? I don't think that's that kind of update. There are two main features I want to talk to you today about on this update that I'm most excited about. The first one is the fact that now on the A7R Mark III and the A7 Mark III, you can do internal time-lapse without any additional remote required. Let's dive into the settings of the camera to show you how to go about this now. All right, so for this first section, we are going to go to the menu number 1 and screen number 4 and go to interval shoot function. Now, as you can see here, this is my first time diving in here and just trying to get a first impression of it. If I go to interval shooting on, so shooting start time really means how long do you want to delay the start of your time-lapse film. When this comes in really beneficial, I'll give you a specific example. The last time I went to shoot the Milky Way in Africa, I had to actually delay the start time by about an hour of when I actually wanted to press the record button, because I honestly wasn't going to stay up the entire time, and I wanted to delay an hour when the Milky Way would be at its peak, and I would honestly be already in bed. And you can delay the shooting start time up to 99 minutes and 60 seconds if you wanted to. From there, I can go to shooting interval. How long do I want the number of shots to be? Do I want it to be 4 seconds? Do I want it to be 2 seconds between shots? I love the fact that it gives me an option of here how long the total time it's actually in a shot and the number of shots it's going to take. The next thing up on the menu is number of shots. Now, at this point, I probably want to increase this to about 300 shots, and it's going to take about 14 minutes of overall time. The other thing here is I can go to AE tracking sensitivity. So auto exposure tracking sensitivity. According to the firmware update, the auto tracking sensitivity will let the tracking sensitivity of auto exposure change against the luminance during interval shooting. So if you want a low exposure changes during interval shooting, you can set this to low. If you want high exposure sensitivity, you can change this to high. At this point, I'm just going to leave it on mid. Let's go to the second page and see what's there for us. Now this is awesome. So I can choose to have it silent shoot when I'm doing an interval, or I can choose to not have it on a silent shoot. And that's it. I can start time-lapse shooting from there. Now, the next feature I really want to talk to you about is the difference between switching from eye autofocus to face detection autofocus on the A7R Mark III. There is basically a way now in camera where you can choose to set a button, a custom key as it were, to toggle between do you want the autofocus mechanics to zero in on one single eye or put a box around the entire face. Let's kind of go out and show you what this means practically. All right, for this section of the tutorial, I have solicited my help from my little helper, Grace. You want to say hi? Hi. And as you can tell, I have face auto detection turned on. And as you can see around her face, there is a gray box. Now I have assigned a custom key to assign eye autofocus. Now, as soon as I press down my autofocus key on my lens, it hones in on her eye. Now Grace, like back up a little bit. Yep, and as you can see, keep going. It tracks her the entire way. Now if she goes forward, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You notice it tracks her the entire way until it loses focus. So if she backs up a little bit more, I still have my button pressed down. It's gonna try to do the difference between face detection and eye autofocus detection. And that is a little bit about eye autofocus detection. I can have the button set to eye autofocus on my lens, or you can assign it to a custom key. But if I let go of everything, it's still going to track the actual face, or if I press the button, it's going to track the eye autofocus. What do you say, Grace?
That's pretty cool if you were watching this.
Well, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope today's video has helped you and hope you're really excited about these awesome updates to the Sony A7R Mark III and the Sony A7 Mark III. I just want to say thank you before you guys go today. We passed a major milestone on the channel recently. We've passed 100 subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing and thank you for staying up to date with the channel. I really appreciate your support. Until next video, continue to learn, create, and share your content with others. I'll talk to you next time.